What is up, everybody? I'm Captain Magnus, and in this video I'm going to discuss the best official PvP starter base locations for Ark Survival Ascended. First, I do have a disclaimer. I know what you're thinking, ASA is already out, and this isn't ASA gameplay. And there's a reason for that. I play on console, and of course that has been delayed. I do have a PC, but it is not optimized. Either way, PC servers are crashing every hour on ASA, and the amount of work I put in here, which you will see, would take me weeks to replicate, even if I did upgrade my PC. What's important here is that this information still holds true. I've been looking at others live streaming, and these spots are still there. Right now, PC players are struggling to get started. People were, and still are, underestimating the island. It is not an easy map. Here are some things to keep in mind before I do go into each location. Number 1. These are starter bases, not a final base location. A lot of these will not hold up once transfers open. Number 2. No cryopods in ASA. You will not be building in a cave on day 1. It's day 3 for PC players, and most are living on rafts. Number 3. You will all be low-level characters and therefore low stats on those characters. You will not go as far as you think you will. And also you won't fistfight everything in caves to clear them. Number 4. Most of the gear will be primitive because amazing blueprints will be rare. It will take a while for people to go into the underwater and get those actually good blueprints. Getting compass blueprints and canteen blueprints from the drops is not going to help you. Number 5. The dinos will be low stat dinos. So when you're getting raided, if you have turrets up, it won't be too crazy since the turrets will kill most tames. And then vice versa, attacking will be the same. If you go to a base with a decent amount of turrets, your wild tamed level 60 stego will not survive. Number 6. The caves have been reworked. The most notable one is the ice cave. There's no crouch on ice cave anymore. So right now you can walk a trike all the way through. Number 7. The teleporter is Alpha Dragon, and the tech generator is Alpha Megapithecus. That means that you will need to have a ton of raised tames to get these engrams. And this ties to number 8. So if another tribe takes a cave and you can't wipe them, or they just don't give you the artifact that's in that cave, then you're stuck without a TP. So that means that you won't be able to bring your tribe into the cave. Because if you don't get that artifact, then you can't do the boss fight. And the odds are that that artifact is going to go for one of these two boss fights. So 66% of the artifacts. Number 9. This is not going to be smooth sailing. The whole time, other tribes will attack you and slow down your progress. Number 10. You will no longer be able to increase the speed of players and tames. Therefore, you will take longer to get resources, basically to collect them and then bring them back to your base. So progressing will be slowed down. And the last thing you should keep in mind before criticizing these base locations is that I have over 10,000 hours played on Ark. 436 days to be exact. All on official PvP servers. Okay, so let's get to these locations. So as you can see, I spent a lot of time clearing the land here so that I could find really good locations for everybody. This took a long time to do, and it's throughout the whole map. Okay, so before we start here, so what I was looking for was that no turret raft can shoot into the base, so nobody can just pull a turret raft and have it shoot in. The next thing was to have limited ways in. There's a huge difference between having to cover 360 degrees of the area around the base versus 180 or less. So the more that I can bring that number down, then the better that base location is because you only have to watch certain ways. Then the last thing was to have the area be large enough to store dinos since there are no cryopods. You cannot build in a little hut in the middle of nowhere and expect to survive. So, without further ado, here's the first base location. I did name them just for me to remember. This one, I call it Small Peak. This is for a small to medium tribe, probably leaning more towards a small. There's only one way up here, and it's through this front area. So no matter what, you're gonna have to have turret towers around. So even back here or whatever building you decide to put up, you need to have turret towers and of course dino gates or something to cover the sides here so that people can't just build up to your base. So like I said, this is a starter base location and this is for a small to medium tribe. The area is relatively flat, and with the new S Plus that got integrated into the game, it should be pretty easy to have something large in this area here. Like if you want to make like a structure, I know some of these things might get in the way, but not in ASA. All right, I did have the coordinates here on the GPS. Problem that I've been finding is that the coordinates do not match over on ASA. I was helping somebody go around the map and finding the Explorer notes, and I was giving him the exact locations on the GPS, and he was not able to find them. So instead, I'm gonna go up here, and you can see where this is located. This one's a pretty obvious one. You see the two waterfalls in front of Blue Ob. This is inland, and of course there's the redwoods. So if these coordinates here don't work, then just use your surroundings to figure out where it is. Okay, coming in at number 9 is the mini spiral. So this was the only place that I found that sort of had like a spiral to get up here into this plateau. So basically the way up into the main base area, you have to go around this corner here. So this one here, I mean, here are the coordinates. You can clearly see that this is right next to the Beaver Dam area here, the hidden lake. I would not block that location because people in the map might be mad that you are blocking a beaver spawn. And also it'll hinder you considering if you do leave this open, then you'll be able to benefit from the cementing paste easily available. So I picked this one because it only seemed to have about two ways up. So this entrance right here and then this way. So that's the only way to like walk up a stego or something. If you spam off the sides here, and maybe even the front area right here, and along this path, they can't just build up to your base. Another thing that I was thinking was that you could maybe put like a fat turret tower right here to cover the side, and then another fat turret tower right here on this little flat area, overlooking down, and of course it'll cover towards the main base area, which this area right here should have turrets. So I mean, you can use your imagination and have like a building station somewhere here. Um, these are some examples of some towers, but now the whole tower designs are gonna change because now you're able to place turrets on walls, literally just vertical. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is just an example, so you guys can use your own imagination on how to defend it. I'm sure you guys have your own turret tower designs. But yeah, this is number 9, and we'll be moving on to the next one. Okay, so the next location is, I call it River Run, and it's right here. A lot of people like to build on those pillars there, but I don't think it's a good idea. But this one here gives you enough room to have like a dino pen, a crafting station, and a main base. This is for a medium to large tribe. And like I was mentioning earlier, the main areas where they can attack you from, that means by them just walking a stego up to your base to soak or a giga to kill stuff. It's about half, so I would say about 180 degrees, which is better than 360, but and the ledges here are pretty high. If they have like a turret raft, they have like a turret raft right here, then it will not be able to reach into your base. This whole area right here, of course, a ledge you should put dino gates or something to block it off, so that they can't just sit over here and just snipe your stuff. But Of course, you won't have Tech B heat gates at this place since it's just a starter base location. This is one of the first places that I had found on here. But yeah, that's about it for this one. There is, I mean, you should be able to know where this is at because you're between the two metal mountains here. This one right here is the Giga Spawn, and Carno Ireland, I believe, is that direction. But yeah, that's this one. Okay, so the next location, number 7, I call it Thick Peak. That's because it has this huge peak right here, but then this is like thick with two C's right here. How big it is, the area. So this one does have 3 ways in. This area right here, this area right here, and one small area back here. The area here is pretty tall. I mean, of course, you should spam this whole area around it. All around this should be spammed. But the ledges are decently sized. And then you get a pretty good view of redwoods towards the front. You should definitely put dino gates and stuff all the way through here so that they can't just have a turret raft sit here and shoot up into your base. You should, of course, have turret towers all the way around. And this place is huge, so I would definitely say that you need to be a large to a mega tribe to hold it down. And of course, here are the coordinates, which might not match, but it is literally right next to Green Ob. And then there's the Redwood Forest. Okay, so the next base location is Twofer 1. So this is number 6, Twin Peaks. As you can see here, what I've been doing the past 3 to 4 weeks is spamming everything. There's no trees, maybe all the way over there. See all these areas here. I've been spamming them so that I can see the terrain. And of course, yeah, I did it even in the swamp. And then it's everywhere. It's everywhere on the island I did this so I could find good base locations. So this one is called Twin Peaks because there's 2 sort of base locations. And this is something that could be used for a medium to large tribe. You can pick like one side and then take over the other. This is a very versatile location, as you can see. You can just take over it with an ally, maybe. So if you only want one side and then you have friends on the server, maybe they could take the other side. You can back each other up. I would put in the middle here like a huge turret tower so people can't just land up here, snipe down into your base. Or maybe turret towers all along the corners here, like on the ledges. And same for this side too. Just like I mentioned before, so this one is about the 180 degrees that you can access, which would be this side. On the other side, they have the tall ledges. This one did have this little corridor right here, which you could put turret towers in there, and then it will make the whole area on this side a lot stronger. So, for example, if you get raided from this side, and then you have this corridor right here with like full of turret towers, then and then up here you have maybe another turret tower. If they hit you from this side, you have turret coverage in here, there, and there. So basically, they'll be funneled in to this area right here, and you could have people up there sniping and then pushing from the sides. It'll not be an easy area to push. And then for this side too, you have turrets up here, and then some hanging off the sledge right here, then it'll help you fight people attacking from this side. On the other side, they have a little like hallway up here. I would try my best if I had this location. I would try my best to block everything here, spam it out completely, put large bear traps and small bear traps, spam it, put turret towers outside, and same on this side. All this area right here, just spam it out. Make sure nobody can get in through here. And then have my way in from this side. So that if people do push in, then you have this ledge here. You have the Bronto, you have the Karcha, the Diplo. They just can push people off the ledge if they start attacking you or whatever. And of course, you should have the turret towers up here, which will shoot down at them. So there's another area where you could funnel people if they're attacking you. But basically, you have to sort of put enough deterrence on these other sides so that they push you from here. And of course, these are the coordinates for this little mountain. If the coordinates don't work, then this is just south of Blue Ob. This is west of the Redwoods and north of Red Ob. Alright, so location number 5, of course, had to be Carno Ireland. Personally, I would never build here. This area is annoying because it is so large. Me, of course, I was using the admin commands, and it took forever to put up these behe gates. I can't imagine doing this unofficial. It would take so many resources and so much time and so many people to get this, and for nothing, because at the end of the day, somebody could just ram these gates and just blow them up. Like, you could have turrets right next to them, but if they just ram the gates with a raft, they won't get shot. So this location is a full 360. Like, anybody can attack you from any side. And then even in the middle, there's multiple ways up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 ways up here. And the ledges aren't even that tall. You could just walk, like, once these rocks are gone, you could just probably walk a giga right up through these. My mega tribe is thinking about building here. I personally do not agree. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I know a lot of people will be competing for this location. And then on top of all of that, that's when the game launches or whatever. With the low levels, how are you supposed to kill all these things around here and start living here? And then think about doing resource runs. Those are going to take even longer. You're going to have to use rafts to get up to the main area and get the metal from up there. And then come back. Then on top of all of that, then you have to do taming. I don't know. I think it's going to be a pain in the butt to build in this location. But of course, I had to include it because I know a lot of people like it. And then, of course, you guys know you guys don't need the coordinates. You guys know where this is. Okay, so this next base location is number 4, and I call it Mount Layers because it's a mountain right next to Green Ob, and it has so many layers around it that give you the ability to defend it better. I have personally built in this location before in official PvP, way after the island came out, and it held its own ground, even with people with high level tames and high stats on soakers and all that. So I did a little mock up here of a dino pen, because of course you're gonna have people like hovering above and sniping down at your base. So I highly suggest having a huge dino pen. And this one, of course, is gonna have like turret towers along this outer area. So, like on this ledge, maybe have a turret tower over here, so that people don't just go into your building or whatever. And of course, the building itself should have turrets. But this is a pretty nice area, and you could build it with multiple levels, so that you can have like maybe small tames at the top, and then like the Rexes that you're using for the boss fights to get you in that cave that you want to build on at the bottom. But yeah, this area is super, super flat. You could build like the main base like right over here, and then maybe like the working station, the grind station like right here, like in this open area. Or you could take some risks and maybe put it like out here somewhere. Like some of these spots are pretty open here, but there's still ledges around it. See, there's only so many ways up, and all of them are winding, so they're gonna have to go through some of your turrets, no matter which side they decide to attack. So personally, on this location, I would block off this side, this angle. So basically spam the heck out of this, put spike walls all around here, and put turret towers outside too. And same for this side, put like a turret tower out here, spam it, basically just build up the turrets, and then I would leave this side over here to be the main one in and out to walk the tames in and out. I came up with this little defense strategy here because of the Karcha and the Bronto. If you can, if you set this up here and they go up this little ramp here for your base, or if they come from this side, you could tail whip them in here. And with the dino gates, they can't get out. Or heck, they might just run away from you. And then you could set up this little trench right here as a trap. I set up some like the large crop plots here. So maybe you could put like Plan X, spam a bunch of Plan X everywhere here. I set up one turret tower here. Of course, you won't be able to do that because there's no cliff plats. But that was just an example. And then I put some Plan X on there to have the turrets defend the Plan X so they can't just blow it up. And then basically just force them into the pit of spikes and large bear traps and just pick them off. I think that's a really good strategy to use the land around you as an advantage. And I made multiple ones here so that even if they get away from here, might think they're safe. They could just fall this way too. So yeah, and then over here too. I think that using this area for your advantage, will work out pretty good. All right, so base location number 3. I call it the Ancient Plateau because there are so many explorer notes around it, so many sets of ruins. There's like one over here, one there, one there. Pretty sure there's more on this mountain here. So this location is definitely for a medium to large tribe. It is right in front of a herbivore island. So this one is another one that is up on ledges. So about half of it, so 180% or degrees of angles in which it could get attacked. So there's really, I think, 3 main ways up here. So there's like one here, pretty small, another one here, and this large area on this side. For some reason, these rocks right here, that large rock right there, and this one, I was not able to destroy them. I'm not sure if they're just part of the mountain, and maybe it could be that they're glitched. Who knows? It might be there for Ark Survival Ascended. It might not be there. Also, there was like another glitch over here that's sticking out of the ground. So, I don't know. But this location right here is top 3 for a reason. The ledges on the backside are huge. Okay, you can't just put a turret raft here and shoot inside the base. It's not going to happen. The amount of ways in is pretty limited, and it's all sort of in one little area. There's a lot of room up here. And just like before, you can find ways to like funnel people in through here. The worst side of this base is probably right here, because they could just walk up to this large area and maybe set up like a giga wall or a line of stegos to soak. So this will probably be the side that I would spam with like spike walls and large bear traps, and maybe put quite a few turret towers out here. It is a ledge on this side, so that does help defend it from mainly this angle right here. Is going to be the one they're going to be attacking from. But aside from that, another reason why this location's number 3 is because across the way here, there's like ledges that you could put more turret towers to defend the front. So that adds a whole other layer of defenses to your base. Of course, I would definitely put turret towers around the back and then spam off part of the beach so that they can't just come up here, build like a structure up into your base. Definitely try to have some turrets maybe on medium range so that you don't block like people spawning in. I'm not sure entirely if this is a spawn location, but I do know that the devs have strict rules on putting turrets on areas where people literally spawn in, like one of the main spawns. So, but I think that people do not spawn in this beach area here. It'll be further that way or on the other side of where that piece of land is over there. So I think this area should be relatively safe to put some 1 or 2 turret towers in the back here, like hanging off the ledge. And if not, then you could just put them like For example, like this little indentation right here, have it be pretty high so it can shoot if anybody tries to go and cheese them. Because I know some people might try to shoot rockets up from this angle right here, like just shoot rockets up. So maybe have them a little bit taller over the edge, and you should be good to go. Maybe have them on medium so it stops the rockets. But I mean, aside from that, like this area here has a lot of potential. It's pretty large. Of course, it's your choice of putting behe gates where, or putting dino gates, or if you want to put walls like here. It's entirely up to you and how you want to play. But again, I do suggest maybe having this middle one be the way in and out, because if you put turret towers over here, it'll cover it, so people won't be able to get in, and have the sides completely over here like spammed off with turret towers in the like right here in the floor. Put turret towers so that they're deterred from it. But yeah, this is probably when I first thought of the base locations for the island. This is probably the first one that I thought of, and I bet you not many of you thought of it. A lot of people go straight for Herbivore Island, but you could bring a turret raft up to this point right here. You put the turret raft with the turrets on high, and it'll shoot like halfway into this area for sure and kill all your tames. But up here, you can't do that, and it's pretty high up. And you have all these explorer notes too to help all the tribe mates level up. And you're not blocking like any major like resources. So should be pretty uncontested area. Um, some warning though, this area was very, very dense with like rocks and trees. So it will take a while to clear it. I would suggest like starting like putting the dino gates in the entrances and blocking people from coming up here. Like the three ways in, put like dino gates so nobody can get up here. There's a ledge over here starting from here too, so they can't just climb up here. One thing I know is that ASA does have a lot more foliage and more trees and more rocks, so it will take a while to clear it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can use those same resources to cover the entrances so people don't just walk up here. But yeah, this is a very solid base location. That's why it's ranked number 3. And of course, you probably know how to get to this considering Herbivore Island's right there. We got the coordinates. But yeah, that's about it for this one. Moving on to the next. The next location I call Central Peak because it's pretty close to the middle of the map, and it has this huge peak on this side. So for this location, I would say about a medium to large tribe would be needed to hold it down. There's basically 2 ways up here. This little side area, and then a bigger area over here. There's a little small corridor this way, but it basically still ends you right here in this one way in here. So this location is ranked number 2 because it has only 2 ways up. It is pretty close to the river, so somebody can show up with a turret raft, but there's no way in heck these turrets are going to shoot into your base and kill all your dinos like in Herbivore Island or in Carno Island. And then everything around is pretty tall. So this area is like a swampy area, so a lot of people are gonna hate raiding this. Like look, there's like Titan boas, frogs, perserethiums. I know there's sarcos and look, the boys. Like raiding this area here is gonna be pretty hard. So the one downside to this location is at this little hill right here, because now it's not as flat as you would want it to be. So I'm hoping that this location can benefit from the new way that they have the structures being placed, like the tall foundation so you can sink or raise. Maybe here have like a dino pen, and then maybe here the main base. I put the behe gates here. I'm not sure I would put behe gates all the way throughout. I would maybe put the behe gates like maybe these 2 here, and then dino gates on the sides with turret towers. And of course, the main base would have the turrets on top too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would put the main base here. Maybe like have a greenhouse over here, something that could be expendable, because you never know. People are crazy and they find ways in. So maybe somewhere like here have the main base in this area. It's a pretty centralized area. They can't just walk up here, right here, and then get into your main base. Like, another benefit from this area is that you can have people sit up on these ledges and shoot down, or if somebody tries coming up here with a stego, you could just giga munch it right here or whatever, or a Rex, depending on what you're doing. So I found this area to be very defensible. On this side is probably the more troublesome side because they'll be able to set up like giga lines or Rex lines and the stego pushes. But I mean, it narrows it down, so you only really have to defend one side for them to come up. But of course, I mean, you should put turret towers all along the corners here, all along the edges, to prevent them from like Fortniting up. And maybe put some like spam all along the river here, like I have, so that they can't just place their own structures. But yeah, that's Central Peak, and we have the coordinates right here. This is really close to the other two locations, the Thick Peak and the Small Peak. And of course, it is directly in front of Green Obelisk. You can't miss this location. Right on to the last one. Okay, the number one spot, in my opinion, is this location right here. I call it Hunter Hill because the Hunter Cave is right below it. I know this is like right in front of the spawn areas, but I think that this location has so much potential because it only has like 3 or 4 ways up. So let me go through those real quick. There's this area right here. Then there is this area right here. And this one, which I gave an example on how to spike it off and put stuff in the way so you can deter them from going up here. And then there's this way up here, which I would put a fat turret tower at the very end here and spam off the whole area. I would spam off this whole place. Maybe even put like a turret tower outside, like on this ledge right here, a small one, to deter them. And basically, the way in and out would either be here or here, but I am strongly leaning towards having this area right here be the main way in and out of the base, because if somebody does attack through here, you could get them from the top here, have people like sitting, shooting rockets down, sniping, throw grenades down. Basically, this is a good area to funnel them through if somebody's making a push on your base. This side over here, I would definitely spam it off. Maybe on this back side here, put like a turret wall facing this direction. There is one small area up here where I think that you could walk like a giga up the side of the ledge here. And I think it's this one right here. You might be able to get a giga up through here, but I don't know exactly because ASA came out and there's no way for me to verify. They made a lot of changes to the ledges, so I don't know. But this is not anything major that a turret tower or the turrets like I have set up right here can't fix. So on top of all of that, I would definitely put more turret towers on this side right here. So that basically just adds a whole nother layer of defense and deters people from attacking you from this side too. I would also put down here some spike walls and some large bear traps. So that if somebody does come through any of these sides and they fall in, then they're stuck and they're getting hurt. I would not block the cave for obvious reasons. You want to be able to go in and out for the artifact, be able to go in comfortably. You know, some tribe mates are dumb and might get stuck in the bear trap. So maybe like right here at this entrance, like leave it open where they can fall in or fly in and have a place to land and then get the artifact and come back out. I did a sort of mock up here. These turret towers, I won't be able to do these turret towers because now you're able to place turrets on walls and it just wouldn't make sense. So this is just an example of an area here. We got the grind station. This could be a really good grind station right here. And we got more turret towers. The main base, I would definitely put it right up here. There's like one way up here, officially here, but then you can of course go up this mountain, which I don't know how they updated it on ASA, but it's not that bad. So if technically, I mean, if the ledge is right around here, you only have to put dino gates or whatever up to this ledge right here. This would be probably your starting point. So when you're naked off the beach and you run up here, the first area I would block would be from here. Oh crap. To here. From there to there. That's what I would block. And then be able to build right up here in peace. After that, of course, just block this way. And maybe just to start off, I would block from this ledge right here all the way up to here. So technically, you could just, if you want the whole plateau, you could just block right there. And then from here to here. And you have the whole area except this, which you can expand to later if you need the space. Over here, to one way up this ramp, and I made a dino pen, an example of a dino pen. Of course, we got the river on this side, so people might have the turret rafts, but there's no way in heck they'll be able to shoot in. And even on top of all of that, the dinos are going to be inside. So I would put, of course, turrets here, and maybe one like turret tower right here or something to shoot down into the river. People don't spawn in the river, so I don't think Wildcard will be banning you for doing that. Over here might be a good spot for a turret tower too. So if we're looking this way, this entrance, so you could have like a turret wall here and then a turret tower right here. Be pretty fat side. But yeah, I think this is probably, in my opinion, the best location. It is very flexible. It has just a few ways in, and you're able to build decent structures here for like a big tribe to get ready for the boss fights, and then eventually you move into one of the caves. So there you have it. I hope this information helped. If you learned something new, please drop a like on the video. And if you want to see more Ark videos from me, hit the subscribe button to see upcoming content. So till next time, see you guys soon in Ark.